Hello, everybody. All right, this is a little bit out of order, but I got a lot of requests because I did the MedicaT install through Linux on how to do it through Windows. So we're going to do that really quick. It's quite simple, but we're going to set it up for you nice and easy. I already have the web page, as you can see up here. It's medicatusb.com. You want to go to that. I find the easiest way is to go right down to the installer, click on the Windows installer. It'll download for you. Takes little or no time. It's not a commonly used program, and some you might have to tell it you want to keep it, or it's not a virus, blah, blah, blah. Standard stuff. Yes, we're sure. You gotta love it. All right. Keep it anyway, please. Thank you. All right. As you can see, it's a batch file that comes down. Pretty straightforward stuff. You can open the folder, and there it is right there. Now, as you can see from my downloads folder, I did already download the USB main files to save time on this video. And so we're going to run this, but if you don't have them, this will do this automatically. So you don't have to worry about that. We're just going to double click on, well, actually, yeah, we'll double click on the MedicaT installer, and that should run. Gotta love this. More info. On anyway. Windows is trying to protect us. Asking for admin privileges. Obviously, you say yes. It comes up with a nice little fancy red tool which tells you that, you know, this may trigger antiviruses. No kidding, we've already had that happen how many times. But it's nice of them to let us know that. And we gotta wait 5 seconds, read this, and then hit enter. Boom. And now it starts going through its thing to make sure everything's all pretty. And up comes the MedicaT installer. This does use every bit of 32 gig. I recommend, if you can afford a 64, 128, 256, or even 512, don't use a crap USB stick. It will not do well because you're going to be using this a lot. You want to spend a little extra money on your USB stick. SanDisk is fine, you know, or you can get an SSD drive and just a standard USB 3 to SATA adapter cable. That works fine also. All right, so we're just going to hit enter on this. I've already got my USB in. Obviously, if you paid for this, you were scammed. And we hit enter again. And you have your stuff here. Install MedicaT right there. It checks your Ventoy version if you already have it. If you don't have it, it downloads it and puts it on there for you automatically, no problems. Now we need to find out the drive it's looking for. So your USB drive is already in there. It's USB-B. All right, click on that. It will format the drive. If there's anything on there, it's going to go bye-bye. So make sure you either have a clean drive or one you don't care about. And we hit enter. I use GPT. I use Secure Boot. It's nice to have. You don't have to use it, but it's very nice to have it on there if you want to use it. You can also check out my other video on how to use Secure Boot with MedicaT, which is very helpful. It is now installing Ventoy, which is the boot manager, so that you have all your different things on there that you can use. I'm going to pause it while it does this. Now it's formatting. All right, now it can't find my MedicaT files. That's fine. Again, like I said, if you don't have them, you just hit yes and it downloads them. I'm going to hit no and it'll come up with the thing from the point where we want to get it. There we go. And we just point it to the MedicaT directory. And there's my USB file. And away we go. Now this will take some time, so I'm going to pause it and we'll kick it back in when it's just about finished, okay? Alright, I'm starting this back up again. We are at 99%. We might still have a couple of minutes left, but we'll see. Hopefully it should be just about finished. Alright, 100%. We're still going. Should be really close now. Sorry for the silence, but bear with me. Just in case you didn't notice, this did take a few hours. You can look at the clock in the lower left or lower right from when I paused it to when I started it back up again. That was no exaggeration. It's actually what I'm doing it on a small USB stick. That's why if you do it on a SSD or something USB 3, it's going to be significantly faster, but it still takes a while no matter what. So make sure you got some time before you start this little project. While this is finishing, I'll talk about a couple of the things that you can do with this MedicaT USB. I've found you can use it for just about any diagnostic tool you want in Windows and Linux. They also install a couple of different ISO files to be able to boot to other things, including the MedicaT USB. So I'll throw a Linux Mint on there and so forth. We're starting to move along now. You can keep your eyes on that. All right, there we go. The installer has completed, and it goes through this little check, which is kind of cool. It checks all 29,652 files to make sure everything's good. You might get a couple of failures in there. It's okay if you do. It's not a big deal. Everything should run pretty much status quo, no matter what. So we're just going to let that finish up. As I was saying, I put like Linux Mint on there. I'll download Windows 10 ISO, Windows 11 ISO. So I have those to install if I ever need them. And you can boot them right off the main boot menu of Ventoy. It starts up in MedicaT. I put a bunch of other stuff too. I used to put a lot of driver software on there and stuff, but MedicaT has Snappy Driver Installer, which I'm going to do a video on that soon. That pretty much covers 98% of every driver you need. It's pretty slick and it runs quite quickly. I'm going to pause this again so while this goes on and finishes. And then I'll come back and we'll finish this up. Okay, I'm rather impatient, so I'm going to quit out of this because you really don't need to do it. But when it is done, your missing and bad files will be up here. Hopefully they're all zeros. Like I said, if you're missing one or two or something comes up bad, it might be something you never use, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And I'm going to cancel out of that, and now we're back to the installer, which it said the installer has completed. We're going to hit enter, and we're done. That's all there is to it. Now, if we go to our file manager and we look, that USB drive that we put in that was blank earlier is now a lovely little MedicaT USB. You can boot off it. You can run it right from here. That's it. You can use it to diagnose all your stuff. All right. Have a good one. And again, if you like what we did, if you enjoy our videos, smash the like button. Gotta satisfy the algorithm. And subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on anything good. And if you have any questions or anything you want me to cover in the future, please put it in the notes. Thank you very much, and God bless. Have a great day.